Hey everybody, this is TJR, and this is a follow-up video to the Why I Am Canceling CBS All Access and Why You Should Too video that I did a couple weeks ago. Now, since making that video, I have gotten a lot of comments and a number of questions. And I felt like I should address some of these in a new video, so I'm doing this today. Now, one comment that I recently received was people asking me, well, how do you cancel CBS All Access? Now, it's interesting that I should get asked this because I never told anyone my experience with canceling CBS All Access. My experience was a bit interesting, and later on I would find out that it wasn't unique. Initially, when I signed up for the 1-week free trial, of course, just to check out, the first couple episodes of Star Trek Discovery. And I thought, okay, I'll go for the $5.99 a month version with commercials, the cheaper one. And I would maybe give it a couple more episodes just to see what I thought. And besides, I might report on it here on YouTube and talk about it. So I signed up for that. When the first bill came in, which was right after the free trial, I found myself hit with a charge for about $58, $59 and some change. And I thought, what's this? I signed up for $5.99 a month, not like a long-term subscription. So I went to their website. I found there was a customer service number. I called it. I spoke to a phone associate who was very nice, very polite to me. And I explained that I only signed up for a monthly program for $5.99 a month, that I did not intend to pay this much all at once. And he had me go to the website and he kind of walked me through the sign-up procedure, and he showed me where there was this little checkbox that says save 15% by paying for a whole year in advance. And I said, okay, I see that, but I never clicked this. I'm very careful about these enrollments. I read everything very carefully, and I know I only signed up for the $5.99 a month plan. However, I said there is a possibility that I may have made this mistake, but I personally highly doubt it. Now, the associate was very nice. He said, I understand. I just wanted to show you this. I think that you might have done this by mistake. I said, that's fine. And he said, now, we can go ahead and refund this, but what we have to do is we have to cancel your service. He said, you can re-enroll. And he actually said to me, you'll have to sign up again with a different email. I said, that's fine, but I do want to make sure that I get my money back before I sign up. And he said, I understand. So he put in a request. I got a confirmation email about my cancellation. I got a confirmation email about my refund. Some days later, I did get that refund. And so once I got the refund, that's when I began to kind of think to myself, do I really want to re-sign up for this? And I thought, well, I'm on YouTube and, I probably should comment on the show. And then I thought, I really believe that people shouldn't enroll in this. I believe that fans should not enroll in CBS All Access. And I explained that in the previous video. I felt that they're basically using the fan base to make what is otherwise a fairly useless streaming service financially viable. Their service is not worth $5.99 a month. And I really felt that it was setting a bad precedence, and I still believe this, and I think that by everybody signing up for this, you're basically telling all the other networks, NBC, ABC, CW, that they can charge you also for the privilege to watch their shows with commercials, and that they will do this. And I have no doubt that they will if this is successful. And so far, it does seem to be successful. So far. Now, initially, I didn't tell this story because I wanted to give CBS All Access the benefit of the doubt, that maybe possibly it was my mistake. Who knows? So when I was asked, well, how do you cancel it? I thought, well, I did it by calling, but how would you cancel it? So I went online. I found a YouTube video appropriately titled How to Cancel CBS All Access. I watched the video and it seemed to explain pretty well how to do it on their website. So I linked to it. But then I began to read the comments, and I began to realize that I was not the only one who experienced this situation where they signed up for a monthly service and then suddenly found that they were being charged for a year in advance. I can't remember the exact price. I think it was $58, $59, something like that. and it was a discounted price for a year. And I get the feeling that CBS All Access just kind of did this, hoping that maybe some people would say, screw it, let it go. I'm going to end up paying for it anyways, and this is a discount. In fact, who knows, maybe they told their associates to tell the callers if they call in and complain about it, well, you're going to get the whole year a whole lot cheaper this way, and if you're going to pay for it anyways, you might as well get this discount. And I'm sure that there would be some people who would say, yeah, I guess I should. Yeah, there would be some people who would say, nah, but there would be plenty more who would say yes. And then the people who said nah would still probably sign up for the $5.99 a month plan. And CBS is hoping that you'll stick around. They don't want you to cancel midway through if you become disenchanted with Star Trek Discovery, because let's face it, that's the only real reason, or I should say that's probably 98% of the reason why people are signing up. I'm sure there are a few people who are signing up for other reasons, but let's be real. This is mainly the reason why anybody's signing up for this service. Now, also, while perusing the comments, I also noticed that a lot of people were saying that this video was no longer accurate, that CBS All Access had actually changed the design of their video, and that now it was harder to navigate through and find out where you can cancel. So I'm curious to know what your experiences have been if you have tried to cancel this service. Have you been able to? Other commenters have said the phone number that I used to call and got an associate, basically you call it now and nobody answers, so who knows? So once again, please let me know what your experiences have been. I'm very curious. Now, the next thing I want to address is that some commenters have been saying that while they don't like this version of Star Trek, while they don't feel it's faithful to Star Trek, that they are supporting it. And they're going to pay for this service, they're going to watch it, because they are afraid that if this version of Star Trek fails and doesn't attract the audience, and if everybody cancels CBS All Access, that CBS will pull the plug on Star Trek and we won't get any new Star Trek ever again. I'm here to tell you this will not happen. It's ridiculous to think that will happen. Star Trek has become like Sherlock Holmes. It has become like Tarzan. It is one of those elements of pop culture that will never go away. It's always going to keep coming back. And yes, people might try different versions of it. Some might be better, some might be worse. But do you want to pay $5.99 a month for a version of Star Trek that, from what I can tell from listening to all the reviews, that most fans don't feel is very good, that it's not faithful to Star Trek? And in fact, many feel it's kind of insulting because they are basically saying this series takes place 10 years prior to the original series. And when you think about it now, that means that Spock and Captain Pike are aboard the Enterprise while this show is taking place. Think about the look of the original pilot episode, The Cage, where we had, Captain Pike and Spock, and think of the look of this show and tell me that they're taking place in the same time frame. It's insulting to the fans for the creators of this show to expect us to swallow this. It wouldn't be insulting if they would just simply say, it's a reimagining. We're starting over. It's a reboot. Nobody would have a problem with it then. But here's the thing. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. What they're really doing with this show is they are appealing to the fans who came on board with the J.J. Abrams films. It's the fans who saw these movies and experienced Star Trek this way for the first time that they want to get. But they don't want to alienate the long-term fan base, so they're just throwing a bone and saying this takes place 10 years prior to the original series, even though clearly it doesn't. And that is just insulting. So to everybody that's concerned that not supporting this show will mean the end of Star Trek, please consider that you are paying at least $5.99 a month for the privilege to watch a version of Star Trek that most fans are saying is Star Trek in name only, for the privilege to watch it with commercials. Also, please consider that CBS is using you to make what is pretty much a useless service financially viable. The only message that you are sending CBS when you do this is that it doesn't matter what they do to Star Trek. you're still going to support it no matter what. The other message you are sending is that you are telling all the other TV networks, NBC, ABC, CW, etc., you're telling them that you are also willing to pay them additional money to watch their shows with commercials, and because that's what's going to happen. Now, some people have already thrown up their hands and said, hey, it's too late. They've already won. You know, the signups went through the roof. CBS has already renewed Discovery for a second season. The fact that they've renewed it does not surprise me at all. After all, they need to have something to keep you coming back for next year. They need you to keep your subscription going. Like I said, if enough people suddenly just decided to cancel, things would change drastically. Now, I know that in my original video I said, hey, you know, rather than pay twice for this thing, why not just wait till it's done and then binge watch it? You know, many viewers said they're thinking of doing just that. Now, since then, it looks like CBS, from what I've heard, has changed things, and you're not going to be able to binge watch it. They're only going to have 7 episodes available at a time in rotation. And so as newer episodes come out, the older episodes will go away. So they want to make sure that you can't do exactly that. Once again, my feeling is I'm just going to really, if I really want to keep up with what's going on, I'm just going to pay attention to the YouTube reviewers that are reviewing the series. And like I said, most of the reviewers I've been hearing, they're all very negative about it. They all keep saying this isn't Star Trek. They talk about how none of the characters are interesting. None of the characters are even characters. They're just talking heads. And that they will suddenly just do incredibly stupid things because the plot needs them to, and because they need to make the show's main character, Michael Burnham, appear like the smartest person in Starfleet. If by the time all this is over, the first season, and if suddenly there's this big surprise at the end and it makes the whole thing worthwhile, or whatever it is they build up to makes the whole thing worthwhile, and the critical reviews are for the most part saying, hey, you know, now that we've reached the ending, we have a totally different take on it. It's really a great series. You should watch it. Then I will watch it when it comes to DVD and Blu-ray. That's when I'll watch it. And like I said, why pay for it twice? And why support a streaming service that is, like I said, 98% useless? And why send a message to every other TV network, hey, this is how you need to treat us in the future. Charge us money every month to watch all your shows with commercials. Once again, I want to state that my stance on this, as far as CBS All Access is concerned, has nothing to do with any quality or lack of quality of Star Trek Discovery. My stance on this has to do with the fact that, 1, the streaming service is not worth $5.99 a month. 2, CBS is basically using the fans, extorting the fans to make this otherwise useless service viable. Once again, you are sending a message to every other TV network that this is what you need to do. You need to charge us even more to watch your shows with commercials. Some fans have said to me, hey, it's not that much to spend in the grand scheme of things. Hey, it's worth whatever $100 or whatever it is a year to get, you know, more Star Trek. Fine. But, you know, then that's what's going to happen with every other network. You're going to have to do the same thing with them too, because once they see you're willing to pay, they're going to say, hey, you got to pay us too now. I know a lot of people have said, well, the ship's already sailed, man. You know, the signups are through the roof. They've renewed it for a second season. You know, you can't stop it. Maybe I can't, you know, and maybe it will be a huge success. But that doesn't mean that I have to support it, and I don't have to give them my money, and I'm not going to give them my money. And CBS has been so disrespectful to the fans, the way that they have, you know, put such an iron hold on fan films, what they've done. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the fan films, in many respects, are getting this better than they are. You know, I've been watching Star Trek Continues, and it really gets Star Trek right. And the thing is, you know, why not give these people who are doing Star Trek right, give them a job? You know, George Lucas gave jobs to people that impressed him with their Star Wars fan films. He hired them because he thought they did such a good job. And George Lucas never put any like major holds on the Star Wars fan films, as long as you're not trying to make money from it. And that, in my opinion, is all CBS Paramount should be concerned with. As long as you're not trying to make money with the fan films, then I think they should let the fan communities create these. And I don't think they should, like, you know, do what they're doing. And frankly, I think they should think about hiring some of this talent to create Star Trek that will make them more money. So once again, I'm looking forward to your comments, and I welcome all opinions, even those that disagree with me. But I do want to stress, whatever comments you leave, please keep them respectful, and please keep your language clean. I strive to make this channel and the videos I create appropriate for all ages. I want the comment section to be the same. And YouTube is screening out comments that have obscene language in them. So please, once again, be respectful, keep your language clean. This is TJR. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. And also, please be sure to click notifications so you can know when I make new videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.